I want you to picture something for me. Picture a person standing with one foot in a bucket of boiling water and the other foot in a bucket of ice. Now, on average, his feet are perfectly comfortable. On average, everything's fine. That is your business on an income statement. The averages look healthy, margins are solid, growth is steady, the bank is happy, and underneath that comfortable average, one foot is burning and the other one is freezing. You are making good money in one part of your company and quietly handing it back in another. And the blended number on the bottom line hides the whole thing from you. Here's the part I really want you to hear. The decision to give that profit back is almost certainly not a decision anyone is making on purpose. Nobody on your team woke up and chose to lose money on small customers or to pile cash into inventory you'll never sell. It happened the way water finds a crack. Slowly, quietly, one reasonable sounding yes at a time. And here's why that average feels so comfortable. You don't actually run one business. You run two, maybe three very different businesses under a single roof, a single income statement, and a single set of policies, and the blended number makes them look like one. You've got a set of twins that look identical and behave nothing alike. One twin is a high volume, predictable, well-priced machine. The other one is a low volume, lumpy, underpriced headache. And when you manage them as if they're one child, you overfeed one and you starve the other. Every single day, while the average just smiles back at you and says everything's fine. Let me tell you about a company that lived this. I'll call them Uniform Advantage. They make custom apparel, good business, strong brand, gross margins north of 70%. By every average on their financials, they were thriving. And when I asked their executive team to describe their pricing strategy, they gave me a beautiful answer. Elegant. They talked about customer size, strategic value, margin targets by product. It was a thoughtful answer. So we went and ran their actual margins. We sorted them by the size of the customer and the size of the product. And here's what the averages had been hiding. The smaller the customer, the lower the margin. The smaller the product, the lower the margin. That elegant pricing strategy was a story the executives told themselves. In practice, pricing was set by whoever the strongest salesperson in the room happened to be. And the smallest customers buying the smallest items were the ones quietly bleeding margin. A strategy you can describe but cannot see in your own data isn't a strategy, it's a hope. Now, you already understand this principle in your bones. I have identical twin nieces. Same genes, same parents, same house, same brother. They both find equally annoying, and they could not be more different. One follows every rule, one is endlessly social. If you tell me one of them is home on a Friday night, I can tell you exactly which one it is. Nobody would dream of parenting those two girls the same way. And if you can't treat two identical kids as if they're the same, you certainly can't treat all of your customers and all of your products as if they're the same either. So how do we see the twins apart? We use a tool we built called the 9-box. You don't need the math to follow me here. Just picture a simple grid. Down one side, we rank everything by volume. Your A items, your B items, your C items, the vital few at the top that the business really runs on, and the long tail of small sellers at the bottom. Almost every owner is stunned by the shape of this. At Uniform Advantage, 43 products, less than 2% of what they made, drove well over half their sales. The tail was enormous, and it cost a fortune to carry. Then we run that grid two different ways because two different questions matter. The first way, we measure volatility. That just means how much does the demand for something bounce around week to week? Some products sell like a metronome, steady and predictable, so you can plan them and run them lean. Others lurch all over the place, and because you can't plan them, you smother them in inventory. That first grid is the story of your cash and your operations. The second way, we keep the volume ranking, but we line it up against customer size. Your A customers, your B customers, your C customers. This grid tells you who's actually pulling the demand and where your risk is hiding. And you need both grids because they catch each other's blind spots. A product can look like a crown jewel on the first grid, high volume, beautifully predictable, and then the second grid shows you every single unit flows through one giant customer. Your safest looking product is actually your biggest risk. One grid keeps you honest about your cash. The other keeps you honest about your customers. When you read those two grids honestly, 4 kinds of clarity jump out, and each one is worth real money. Clarity number 1, where you make money and where you give it back. At Uniform Advantage, the big customer corner threw off healthy margins, but once we counted the real cost to serve, the small customer end of that long tail was running at a negative operating margin. They were paying for the privilege of those sales and didn't know it. Clarity number 2, where you're priced below what the customer expects. The question is whether they'd be surprised to. At Uniform Advantage, a careful, modest increase on just the smaller items added over $170,000 in pure margin. The question is whether they'd be surprised to. At Uniform Advantage, a careful, modest increase on just the smaller items added over $170,000 in pure margin. No extra work, no lost customers. Clarity number 3, what your excess inventory is trying to tell you. Inventory piled up in the wrong place is a canary in the coal mine. It's not the disease, it's the warning light, pointing at a broken process upstream. And clarity number 4, how much inventory you actually need. The same company carrying over $4 million in inventory turned out to need closer to $1.8 million once we set the levels segment by segment. That gap is cash. And the floor space it frees up is capacity you already own without building a thing. Now let me tell you why this matters more right now than it ever has. Private equity firms are sitting on enormous piles of capital waiting to be deployed. And a lot of that money is hunting for exactly the kind of well-run, founder-owned company that you may have built. And the playbook those buyers run is not financial wizardry. It's operations. When they buy your company, one of the very first things they do is segment it, find the giveaway, and pocket the EBITDA you left on the table. And because companies sell for a multiple of earnings, every dollar you could have captured before the sale gets multiplied into their pocket instead of yours. You can do this work now while the value still belongs to you. And I can already hear the objection because I've heard it at 1,000 conference tables. Tim, I don't have a data team. I can't build this. You don't need a perfect version. You need a roughly right one. Rank your products by cost of goods. Eyeball whether the demand is steady or lurching. Rank your customers by what they buy. That's it. That's the bones of both grids, built from data you already have. Roughly right beats precisely wrong every time. One last thing, and this matters more than any technique. When the grid shows you something ugly, and it will, do not turn it into a weapon. The numbers are never an indictment of your people. If a segment looks bad, the system that produced it is what needs fixing, not the person living inside it. Truth is not a stone meant to hurl at people. Use what you find to fix the business, or your team will quietly stop showing you the truth. So come back to that person, 1 foot in the ice, 1 foot in the boiling water, perfectly comfortable on average. That's your company on a blended income statement. And it is the most expensive feeling in business because comfort is exactly what keeps you from looking. You don't have one business. You have twins that run nothing alike, one hot, one cold, and you've been raising them as a single child. So here's my question for you. Which part of your business is burning right now while the average tells you everything's fine? Go find out. There is more profit and more capacity sitting in that answer than in almost anything else you'll do this year. I write about all of this in my book, Shocking Profit, and you can find the full article and the rest of this series over at shockingprofit.com. Now go get curious. Go find the profit hidden in your business and start your journey today.